Hi there. So I'm going to show you how to do my myrtle stitch, and this is it right here. You can see what it looks like. It's fairly tight stitch, done on a 3/4 inch loom with bulky yarn, and it doesn't curl. And the other side is, if I can get a good picture of it, it looks nice too. I like it. There it is. It has an interesting pattern on it as well. So as I said, I'm on a 3/4 inch gauge. Oh no, sorry, I'm on a 5/8 inch gauge. So it's still a wide gauge, but it's 5/8 inch. And it's a 32 peg loom, and it's a Cindy wood loom. So it's a 5/8 inch gauge. Okay, and the yarn is a bulky yarn, and it's I Love This Chunky yarn. And the color is Saturn's Rings. Well, Saturn's Rings, huh? Okay, well, it's a really nice mix of colors, orange and clear and brown and navy, and just really, really beautiful mix of colors here. So there's the yarn that we're going to use, and I'll just get some to get going here, off of here. And the loom hook that I'm using, this is just a wood painted loom hook I got from a company that no longer makes them, but they have similar shapes on Etsy. And so if you're looking for this kind of a loom hook, quite a comfortable ergonomic loom hook, they have them there. Also, Cindy Wood has a really nice ergonomic one as well. Okay, and I guess we should get going then. Okay, so the first thing is, this is a stitch video, so I'm not going to show you how to do a project, but I am going to give you enough tips that you should be able to do a piece. Okay, so what I did was a chain cast on, and this cast on will be linked in the description on the video. So when you open up the video, scroll down and you'll see a link for both the cast off that I use and the bind off that matches this cast on. Okay, and it looks quite nice. It's a crochet chain cast on. And then I just did a tight edge, and this edge is because I did an owl eye border on the outside, and then it gives you this nice tight edge, and I really like it. I really like that edge. I use it whenever I can. Okay, and as you see, this isn't curling. It's two stitches, or two rows, two different stitches. Okay, and again, you can look at this side. Maybe you can see a little bit better like this. It's very nice. So you could use it for a project where you're going to see both sides. Also, you can use it in the round, but it will look a little bit different. Instead of this, okay, maybe you can see it more on the white. Instead of a pattern where stitches are going like this and also like this, they're going to tend to go more the same way, so you won't get quite this shape. So it won't be exactly the same, but it's still quite a nice pattern. Okay? Alrighty. So let's get going. So I won't show you the edge this time because I've already done it, and I'm ready to go this direction. So the first stitch we're going to do, row 1, is going to be Jupiter stitch. And Jupiter stitch is on my channel. If you need to see it done or need to see more what it looks like, I have a stitch video of just that stitch, so you can have a look at it. But this is using it as row 1 in a stitch pattern with another stitch. So we're going to go over the peg. We do one peg at a time. We're going to go over the peg in a U-wrap, go behind, and go over it again in a U-wrap. Okay? little bit hard to see the white yarn on the white peg, but we won't have white yarn forever, hopefully, here. Okay, so strand 1 here, strand 2 here, and strand 3 here. So this is a strand that was already on, and these top 2 are the 2 that I wound on. And then we're going to take the 2 bottom strands and lift them over the top and knit them off. Okay, so we're going to go in front and wrap it around again, and then we're going to take the 2 bottom and knit it off. That's Jupiter stitch. Okay, and you're in control. You're in control of this yarn, so you can do it as tight or as loose as you want to wrap. Okay, you want to make sure you take the 2 bottom loops over, because if you were to take just the bottom loop over, these 2 are the same strand. So you would just get a tight knit out of this rather than a stitch that we're doing for this project. Okay, so you want to take the 2 bottom loops. So what you're taking over is just as if you were U-wrapping with the 1 loop, but instead you've got 2 loops, so you're taking the 2 bottom loops over the top. Okay, so, and over the top. You don't want to wrap it so tight you can't get it over. But when you start going, this goes quite fast. Now what it does doing this stitch is it gives you a really, really nice stitch and a nice texture. Okay, so we go U-wrap around and over it again, and the 2 bottom over the top. Okay, now on the 2 edge stitches, and I've marked them. I have a little stitch marker here, and even on the other side I have a little stitch marker here and a stitch marker there to tell me these 2 are going to be the owl eye edge. And these markers are just little round silicone markers that you can get really cheap on Amazon, and they're size small. They're for needle knitting, but they work perfect on these looms and give you a nice little way to mark it. And they come in all kinds of colors. Okay, so I did my last stitch, and I'm going to do the edge now. So to do the owl eye edge, I'm going to go over in a U-wrap and knit it off, keeping it loose. I'm going to go over in a U-wrap and wrap this one as well. I'm going to keep it nice and loose and just knit them off. And then I'm going to come back over the 2 again, keeping it loose, and just knit it off. And then I'm going to do owl eye stitch for row 2. So I'm going to wrap 1 and 2, and I have plenty of owl eye stitches on my channel and an owl eye video if you haven't done owl eye stitch. So we're going to knit this one off, keeping it nice and loose. With owl eye, you're always starting on peg 1. Whatever peg you start at, we call peg 1. We wrap in front of 1 and 2, nice and loose, and knit them. You're on peg 1, you're going to go behind, wrap in front of 1 and 2, and knit it. See, very easy. You're on peg 1, you're going to go in front of 1 and 2 and knit them. You're on peg 1, you're going to go in front of 1 and 2 and knit them. On peg 1, in front of 1 and 2 and knit. Okay, on peg 1, in front of 1 and 2, and because we're doing the owl eye edge, you just keep going. Now you're going to go over 1 and the last peg, and you're going to knit them over nice and loose. You're going to come back over, making sure this is loose, and knit them off nice and loose. And you're going to get a nice tight edge even though you're really, really loose. Okay? And then we're going to do this stitch again. And I'm going to knit ahead a little bit so I get to a darker color and show you this just in case you had a hard time seeing. I will show you those 2 stitches again. So we'll catch up with you in a few. Okay, so I've got a little bit of a different color here that's a little bit easier to see. It's kind of a brown. And also I think I'm going to darken this a little bit so it isn't so shiny, so it's easy for you to see too. So I'll do that. Okay, so hopefully this will help. Okay, so I'm going to go over the peg twice like this. I'm going to take the 2 bottom loops and knit them over. So this is row 1 and we're doing the Jupiter stitch. So we go over that, take the 2 bottom ones over, okay, over in a U-wrap, wrap it again, and we take the 2 bottom ones over the top, okay, over, over again, and we take the 2 bottom ones over the top. Okay, over, over again, 2 bottom ones over the top. Over in a U-wrap, wrap it over again, 2 bottom ones over the top. Okay, owl eye edge, we go over the peg, knit it off. Being very loose, we go over that and the end peg, knit them off. Come back nice and loose, knit them, and then we do owl eye for row 2. So we do owl eye all the way down. We're always on peg 1. We wrap over 1 and 2, knit them off, over 1 and 2, knit them off. Okay, and that is all there is to it. Look at how long the stitch is now. You can see it's quite a beautiful stitch. Lots of texture. And now we can have an even better look at the other side. There it is. See? It's quite a nice stitch here. So both sides look good. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and until next time, bye.